विद्धि येन सर्वम् इदं ततं विनाशं व्ययस्य न कश्चित् कर्तुमर्हति. Translation purport given by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: That which pervades the entire body, we should know to be indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. Purport. This verse more clearly explains the real nature of the soul, which is spread all over the body. Anyone can understand what is spread all over the body. It is consciousness. Everyone is conscious of the pains and pleasures of the body in the part or as a whole. The spreading of consciousness is limited within one's own mind, one's own body. The pains and pleasures of one body are unknown to another, and therefore each and every body is embodiment of an individual soul, and the symptom of the soul's presence is perceived as individual consciousness. This soul is described as 1/10,000th part of the upper portion of the hair. बालाग्रशतभागस्य सतता कल्पितस्य च भागो जीवा स विज्ञेया स चानन्ताय कल्पते. When the upper point of the hair is divided into 100 parts, and again each of such part is further divided into 100 parts, each such part is measurement of the dimension of the spirit soul. Similarly, Keshagrasatavagasya Satamsa Sadrisatmaka Jiva Sukshma Swarupoyam Sankyatito hi Chitkanaha. There are innumerable particles of spiritual atoms which are measured as 1/10,000th of the upper portion of the hair. Therefore, the individual particle of the spirit soul is a spiritual atom, smaller than the material atoms, and such atoms are innumerable. This very small spiritual spark is the basic principle of the material body. This very small spiritual spark is a basic principle of the material body. And the influence of such spiritual spark is spread all over the body. As the influence of the active principle of some medicine spreads throughout the body. This current of the spirit soul is felt all over the body as consciousness, and that is a proof of the presence of the soul. Any layman can understand that the material body minus consciousness is a dead body, and this consciousness cannot be retrieved in the body by any means of material administration. The consciousness cannot be revived in the body by any means of material administration. Therefore, consciousness is not due to any amount of material combination but to the spirit soul. मम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकथमह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणम्. हरे Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. The principle which we are trying to understand is very important actually. Dear devotees, the more when we when we begin giving importance to the consciousness, the more we will realize that how the presence of the Lord can be perceived at every moment in our life. Actually, that is Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is not that we chant completed our rounds. Krishna consciousness is not that you opened up a temple. Krishna consciousness is not that we did that, we did that. It's not activities. Like I read 20 minutes of Gita today. I completed my 16 rounds. I discussed for 10 minutes. It's not that. It's our consciousness. Did we do everything for the pleasure of Krishna? Did we do everything for the pleasure of the spiritual master? Did we do for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada? That is what Krishna consciousness is. That means, why are we giving importance to them? Why should we really do it for them? Actually, who are we? Are we this body? Prabhupada is writing here, very beautiful actually. He's telling, if the soul leaves this body, no matter how much a person is materially advanced, might be a biggest doctor in this creation. He might have so many degrees. He's a big doctor. The doctor cannot bring that person back. That means the doctor doesn't have a mechanism to put the soul back in the material body. No matter science has advanced so much, no matter they're doing so many things, stem cells, this, that, so many other things. But when the soul, they can only do when the soul is present in that body. But when the soul leaves the body, there's no technology in this world who can actually bring the soul back to this body. Actually, when you think about the soul, read about it. Keshagrasata vagrasa. If you take the tip of your hair, cut that tip into 100 pieces. Again take one portion from those 100 pieces. Again cut that into 100 pieces. Now, whatever you see, whatever is missing, whatever is remaining, that is the property of the soul. That is the size of the soul. And that soul has consciousness. And that soul is eternal. That soul is fully knowledgeable. That soul has the potency to get unlimited happiness. Is that not something fascinating? Just even let's just keep just even if you don't know who Krishna is, who is the source of that person, who is the source of that creator, you don't know anything of any of those things. But even just understanding that is what we are, and then we have a spiritual body through that. We have a we have consciousness, and that very minute particle cannot be burnt, cannot be killed, cannot be cut into pieces, cannot be diluted, it cannot be done anything with it. Just by just by hearing that creation itself, something amazing. Now, what to speak when you add Krishna to it? The moment you hear that, oh, Krishna has created that. Oh, Krishna has created me. Krishna has created my wife. Krishna has created my son. Krishna has created my daughter. Krishna has created my family members. Krishna has created this creation. Krishna has created everything. And Krishna is giving us a free will also to do whatever we want to do in this world. That even though we are away from Him, still He is giving us that free will. That means generally, if the child is not listening, the parents will not give what they are supposed to give to the child. If the child is very submissive, then they give what they're supposed to receive. But Krishna, even though we are against him, even though we are not hearing, even though we are not doing what we are supposed to do, even though we are not practicing this on a deeper level, even though we are not doing any of those things, I'm talking to myself because I don't do anything. Even though I don't do anything, but still is giving mercy. How is that taken into consideration? Is that not something astonishing? That means we have forgotten our identity, we have forgotten the spiritual world, we have forgotten our relationship, we have forgotten our services, we have forgotten our intimate connection, everything we forgot. We forgotten our father, mother, everyone in the spiritual world. We're like hanging around with the dead bodies, trying to get some happiness through this dead material, trying to get some happiness through this matter, through eating, sleeping, so many other things, trying to, forget everything, forget the presence of the Lord. Still, He is giving mercy. Now, that master is telling, Keshagra Satavagasya Satasasat. Keshagra Satavagasya. Kesham is the tip portion of the hair. What is this, dear daughters? That means he's telling the moment the soul enters into this particular body, the dead body, all of a sudden it gets the life. As a dead matter, the matter doesn't have any consciousness. It's a dull matter. The dull matter is getting rejuvenation, that strength. Is this not? Is this not something wonderful? It is wonderful. We cannot put a mark actually. That how wonderful this process is. My sister's friend, I was talking to her a couple of days ago. She's asking a question. She's telling everything is there. I have everything, but there is no happiness. I said that is a good question. 1 in 100, 1 in 100 or 1 in 1,000 will get that kind of a question. 1 in 1,000,000 will get that kind of a question. I have everything, but I don't know how to become happy here. I'm not satisfied. The question is good, but when the question is not applied correctly to the point, then there is no value to that question. I remember spiritual master telling when I was asking him a question that how can we, many years back, I was asking this question, why the senses do not hear? Why the senses do not come under control? I immediately asked, why you want the senses to be controlled? What is the intention? So question to another question. See, if the senses have to be controlled to show that I can control the senses, then that doesn't have any value or substance. Let's say the senses has to be controlled to prove that I'm superior to the other person, at least to myself. That is also doesn't have any value. The senses have to be controlled, and then everyone is understanding that, oh yes, Prabhu, senses are in control. That means that is also not giving a real identity. But if the senses have to be controlled for the higher purpose, then it has value. Senses really have to be controlled. But if the higher purpose is not there for that, then what is the point? There's no point in that. Even animals also, they do fasting. If there is no food, they have to fast. Is that is that helping anyone? It is helping the animal, which is not helping others. That means that fasting is also not beneficial. So likewise, if the senses have to be controlled, what is the purpose for that? Is it to serve the spiritual master? Then that is great. Then your senses will be controlled. The senses have to be controlled to please Srila Prabhupada, for doing some service for his happiness with good consciousness. Then that senses which has to be controlled is usko काम है. Then it is required for that. Then if you have that desire, array your senses will automatically be controlled. Because for those personalities, mercy will flow. For sure, there is no doubt about it. If you really aspire to become an instrument in the hands of the acharyas, then all of these things will be controlled. Your mind will be controlled. Intelligence, you will be given good intelligence, special intelligence. Senses will be controlled. You'll see good in others. All those things will come, and then you do great service. When somebody is doing some service, great service, you appreciate them. In your heart and heart, you are not jealous about the other person, but rather you see appreciation. That means continuously, every person is unique, dear devotees. Please understand. Your consciousness is different, my consciousness is different, somebody else's consciousness is different, someone else's consciousness is different. Everyone's consciousness is different. Why the consciousness is also different? Because Krishna wants varieties. Krishna doesn't want same chutney every day. Krishna doesn't want same sabji every day. Krishna wants varieties. That's why when Srimati Radharani cooks, she doesn't repeat the same preparation again. When she cooks, that's it. She'll not repeat that again. That means just see how much variety she has. Spiritual world means variety, dear devotees. Every moment there is a new Nava. There's no time factor there. But at every moment you see something different. The Gopabala is reacting to Krishna today in one way. Tomorrow he'll react in another way. Day after tomorrow, Krishna will react to him in another way. They all respond. They all have that connection. The deepest relation. Are there's so much in relation, there's so much in personal connection. Are how can I go and merge into that light where there is no relation, there is no purpose, there's just peace. Just for peace, you have to go. You're missing all the relationships. Just peace. The grass in the spiritual world is more happier than the person who is actually going into the impersonal liberation. Because the grass also has a relation. The moment it sees Krishna, it turns. It actually manifests that expression. So that Krishna will identify that expression of even that grass particle. That is also a greatest devotee in the spiritual world. Now here a great Vaishnava might be a grass in the spiritual. We don't know. They relish so much in that. Because continuously that grass is continuously absorbed in the spiritual plane. Dear devotees, don't never underestimate the consciousness, the power of consciousness. It's very powerful. Consciousness does wonders. The same consciousness can actually put one person to the greatest difficulties. That means if the consciousness is not right, he'll commit sinful, heinous acts in this world. But if the same consciousness will actually open up the spiritual world here only. He's not in the material world. He's there. He's through his consciousness is there actually in the spiritual world. Just like Srila Prabhupada was being asked by his disciples, Swamiji, I see you're not talking to anyone. You're alone, you're laughing, sometimes you're grave, sometimes you're laughing. You can't understand. Don't know what's happening. Can you tell? Papa says, you cannot understand. Because consciousness is different. Cannot perceive. The Papa says, actually meditating the glories of the Lord in the spiritual world and his relationship with his devotees. I can see, I can perceive that. Because they belong there. So they get access to that. Due to that reason, they avoid or tend to quit what is there here. Please understand. They avoid and tend to quit what is there here. Which is here, which is what? That means they are here, but they are not attached here. They are not there, but they are here only. But they are not attached to here, but they are attached to there. Now, how is that possible? The body is here. What is changed? What is different? Consciousness. The consciousness is what will actually dictate how the consciousness is what will dictate how one should actually lead one's life. Hare Krishna. Now, when we begin working on that consciousness, that is a different state. That's what Prabhupada is mentioning in this sloka. When a person uses good words, when a person is hearing Krishna Katha, or when a person is reading the scriptures, or trying to learn about the acharyas, trying to think about their selflessness, about their selfless services, and trying to do little service for their happiness. But what is happening is, without our knowing the consciousness, through that consciousness, the soul is getting happiness. Please understand this. Through that consciousness, the soul is getting happiness. Through that happiness, the soul will naturally come out of the current existing state, which is a material plane. The soul will come out of that state. The soul is here. It is not part of here. The soul elevates. Soul is in the material world only. Soul is in the material body only. But the soul will not see that I am in this particular body. Soul is there in the body only, but its perception is different. It will not feel that I belong to this or I'm confined to this. Why? Because what is the soul doing? The soul is absorbed in the principles of Sat, Chitta and Ananda, in the properties. This is the primary properties of the soul. The soul is identifying. The soul is getting that touch to that Sat feature. The soul is getting touch to that Chit feature. Chit comes through knowledge. Sat comes through its identity. And through that knowledge, through that awareness, through that association, through that Shravana and Kirtana, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It is coming to what state? It is coming to the state of Ananda. Now that Ananda is how? That Ananda is perceived in such a way that the soul will not look for other happiness of this world. That's how actually the pure souls will actually come out of this material realm. They are here, but they don't take this association. They are here, but they don't perceive. They are here, but they don't meditate on them. They are here, but they are not attached to that. That means, please understand, the entire body is driven through consciousness only. Entire body. And for example, the pleasure and pain which I am feeling, only I can experience that. The pleasure and the pain which you are feeling, only you can experience that. The pleasure and the pain which you are which you are feeling, I cannot experience that, and my pleasure and pain you cannot experience it. But Krishna is sitting, who is sitting in the heart, in both of the heart. He knows what pleasure and pain we are going through. As a super soul, the Lord who is sitting in the heart, he knows everyone's pleasures and pains. Now, through that through that pleasures and pains, he is trying to address every jiva through the process of Shravana and Kirtana. He is addressing every jiva. For that, he sends his pure devotees. For that, he sends his acharyas, exalted Vaishnavas. Because through their association, what happens is our natural identity is revealed. Because it is consciousness only. For example, If there is a hand, if there is a problem in the hand or in the leg, don't we feel the pain? We feel the pain. Now, when you feel the pain in the leg, is that pain not affecting the entire body? It is. That means the pain which got conflicted to that particular leg or a hand, that pain is perceived to the entire body. But the pain which I am perceiving, you cannot perceive because your leg is good. Only I have problem. Likewise, if somebody is using bad language and trying to put the other person down, no doubt the person who is actually hearing, he is affected to that. But the first person who is getting affected to that is the person who is actually speaking. Now, the person who is actually speaking that language to the other person, the person who is actually speaking, he doesn't understand that he is also affected. But technically, he is the first person who is affected. Because please understand, any words which are coming outside, they are not just the words which are coming just like that. They are dwelled, they are meditated, they're consciously being perceived in the heart internally. That means continuation, speculation on those things were there. That means through that speculation is already afflicted. And whatever he says, the other person is also affected to that. If the other person doesn't have right consciousness, he's affected. If a person perceives through the right consciousness, through the other person is having good consciousness, then it's a different state. Please understand, and that good consciousness is given to us by the spiritual master. That means whoever gets attached to those personalities, spiritual personalities, spiritual master, acharyas, or teachers, spiritual teachers who are attached to them, then their way of seeing this truth is totally different, dear devotees. Just like Bilomangal Das Thakur Maharaj, out of a very difficult state, it's like raining, dear devotees. It's like raining cats and dogs. So much rain, continuously pouring. And she was at home where he was supposed to go, to that Mataji's home place. Oh, she was just at home. She's trying to do her chores or whatever. And all of a sudden, surprise, she heard somebody knocking the door. The moment she began open the door, she would see that person, Bilomangal Das Thakur Maharaj. And then he said, I cannot stay in separation of you. That attachment to that girl, through that attachment, she spoke a word here. She said, if you have this kind of attachment to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, your life would have been totally different. That's it. As he had attachment to that particular person, he took that word as his life and soul. Please understand. And later on, he proclaims her to be his spiritual master. Please understand. She did not give him Bhagavad Gita. She did not give him initiation. She did not tell Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, any of those things. No. Just through that attachment, one word came, one sentence came from her consciousness. That's it. He took it as his life and soul. Please understand, the attachment is very powerful. Wherever we are attached, if you are really hearing through that attachment, your state of seeing the truth is totally different. Krishna, you'll actually feel the presence of the Lord. Dear devotees, you see the nails of the fingers, they grow, right? You cut them, again they grow. Again you cut them, again they grow. You cut the hair, again it grows. You cut the hair, again it grows. Right? There's so many things within this body only which are not in our control. We eat prasad, it is getting digested. The blood is purified. All the excrete has been purified and then turned out through kidneys. Kidneys function, it functions, the entire blood is functioned through that. Is it in our control? Do we tell no, you should do like this, you should do like that? Can you do like this? Can you do like that? Do we tell them? Do we tell our food to be digested in one way? Oh, I ate halwa. Let us digest this first. I ate something else. Let us digest that for last. Do we have that kind of control? No. Even the taste buds are not in our control. Everything which we see here, it's not in our control. And whoever understands that, dear devotees, that these things are not in my control, he will really come to this point of observation that, "Arey, I'm doing so much here. Nothing is in my control. Nothing is in my hands. Things are just going like that. That means somebody is doing this. Just like, dear devotees, every day you wake up your children because they have to go to the school. That means the children would know, oh, my mother will wake me up now. He knows, the child will know, tomorrow at this time, so and so time, my mother will wake me up because I have to go to the school. So he knows that she is waking me up. Likewise, when we see this body, we understand that somebody is helping me in doing these things, all of these things. And then even though I'm sleeping, my consciousness is working in the background. That I'm going there, I'm going here, doing some service, doing this, doing that, helping someone or helping myself, doing some service. The consciousness is working in the background. Body is taking rest. The consciousness is running in the background. All of these things are working. Even though the body is being burned, the consciousness is existing. And then the consciousness, the soul is feeling that I have a connection with this body through ignorance. Through ignorance, the soul who comes out of this body, he will see all his family members talking about him. Oh, if that person is not good, then they will speak, oh, yeah, this person, Gaya, his event this good. That person is actually hearing. He hears that, oh, me going away is making them happy. He will feel sad for that, who has left the body. Now that the person who is feeling sad, only he can understand or he can feel that he's feeling sad. Not the person who is speaking. The person who is speaking, he is getting some happiness through that. Or the person who is hearing, he is getting some sadness through that. Again, all through consciousness level only. He can hear, but he cannot perceive. He can know, but he cannot act. He can feel, but he cannot respond. What a difficult state the jiva is being kept. Because if the jiva is not working on the consciousness when the body is alive, when the body leaves, the jiva suffers. Because the jiva never worked on the soul. The jiva never worked on the consciousness. Jiva never understand who the spiritual master is. He's thinking that he's an ordinary person. Jiva is thinking that, oh, this sadhus, they're all like that. They all run behind money, women, and wealth, prestige, profit, adoration. Through that single point agenda, they will miss the essential things what they are telling us. Through that, the jiva suffers. Is death not suffering, dear devotees? It is suffering. The family members, it is suffering. They do not have consciousness. They are not trained up in the science of Krishna consciousness. They don't understand what the acharyas are giving. The family members are suffering. The person who is actually living, he is also suffering. Because he will see, oh, my family members, they're distributing my property just after I left within a day. Wow, they have so much attachment to me. They are like, they're like so sad. Out of that sadness, they're distributing. That means they don't have anything that they don't feel anything that I left. That's even making him sad. On top of that, the Yamadutas are standing next to him. They will tell, we will drag you to the hellish planets. He's already in a state of suffering. And then the Jiva would like to go into that body. And then the Yamadutas will stop him. He wanted to go because he's attached to that body. He's thinking that he's that only. He's never realizing that he's something that the other identity which the Yamadutas are catching him out. The Jiva will never realize that. The Jiva is saying, oh, my body is burning. The Jiva will actually cry during the burning of his own body. But he's thinking that he's that. But he's not that. And whoever thinks that they will not stand over there, please understand. Whoever actually comes to the plane of self-realization and then understands his natural identity, his real identity in the spiritual world, he will not stand like that. He will come back to world. He don't have he says, I don't want to see all of these things. Let me go. Let me go to my next destination. You can take me wherever you want. I don't deserve to go to the spiritual world, but whatever is my destination, I'll go there. What will I see here? Because he's realized. But the poor souls who are not realized, that is where the problem is. He wants to go into that body, he goes, but he cannot stay. He has to come out. Because the time is done, the time is up. The soul cannot stay in that particular body. Dear devotees, this is what Srila Prabhupada wanted to give us. He gave his life for this. To really tell every one of us that we are not this damn body, we are a powerful spiritual. This body has no existence. Only that soul has an existence. In that we need to perceive. And this is not like some theory which we are discussing. This is all very practical sense. It's not like we cannot perceive what this soul is. Yes, no doubt we can perceive the soul. We can perceive the soul. Because we are that only. You get happiness when you hear who is giving you that happiness, from where that happiness is coming. Because the happiness which is perceived by the soul, the Lord sanctioned we are getting the happiness. Because Lord is happy, is giving happiness. The soul is perceiving that. It's not this damn body is getting that happiness. The body cannot get anything about this. It's a matter actually. Even sense gratification is done through soul only. The so-called using this body and then getting some tangible happiness, temporary happiness, that is also coming through soul only. Because the soul is present, that's why you're able to get some happiness. The soul is not present, this happiness has no value actually. The body cannot give any happiness. Through consciousness only everything is driven. Please understand, is real over it. The Lord is so merciful that through that soul, through that consciousness is giving, through this body is trying to give happiness. By eating dead bodies, non-vegetarian, by eating dead bodies. Through that also they get happiness. Courage. For everything, soul has to be there. I was just thinking about this. When one soul leaves the body, entire home has to be purified. They have to clean up the entire home, this, that, so many they have to do. They have to put gomutra everywhere. You have to clean up everything, wash off everything. Entire place has to be sanctified. Probably just one soul left. So when a soul leaves, you have to clean everything. Exactly. You have to take bath. The clothes have to be completely washed. Q, one soul left. 500 people who came to the service, every person has to take bath. Hare Krishna. Dude, what does I think about this? Are when soul leaves, you do so much. When the soul is present in the body, we do nothing. It's like astonishing. When the soul is present in the body, we do nothing about it. What a miracle. That's why Krishna is telling astonishment. When I talk, Krishna is telling, he tells in Gita, after a couple of slokas, he tells, oh, this is very ascharya. This is like astonishing. We are in the soul, but we don't perceive that. It's very astonishing. Some they don't perceive. Nattunetam jatana nattuneme jana chevana bhavishama. Are I'm there in the past, present, and future. You are there in the past, present, and future. You through the soul, you are driving through different bodies. What kind of a benediction is this, dear devotees? The jiva, brahmande brahmita kone bhagyavan jiva. Ah, brahma bhuvana naga punaravarti Arjuna. Is wandering in these 14 planetary systems. Like head cut of chicken. Is going up and down, up and down, up and down. Sometimes it does punya, sometimes it does papa, sometimes punya. The same soul has to go through all of those things. You see the variations in the consciousness also. The heavenly planets, the same consciousness, the soul goes to the heavenly planets and then he enjoys unlimitedly. And then after that, happiness is being perceived, is being completed. Again, he goes back to the hellish planets. Again, he suffers the same consciousness. He experiences that consciousness. Earlier, he experienced that happiness. Later on, he experienced that sad, that dukkha. That means this material world, which is this entire 14 planetary systems, it is filled with duality. Sometimes you get happiness, sometimes you get distress. We should have a point in our life. Enough is enough. How much more I have to go through this? How much more I will go through this duality? Sometimes happiness, sometimes if a person is praising us, oh, I feel happiness. If a person doesn't praise us, I feel sad. Matra sparsha sukamtaya shita ushna sukha dukkha. No, day before yesterday, I was helping my mother in the kitchen. We came home from the crematory and prasad was being served to all the whoever came. And we wanted to make a bhoga to the Lord. And I was helping her in the kitchen. I was realizing, "Bro, this is very hot in the kitchen. That too at night 8 or 8:30. I was just wondering how do these personalities they do all day in the morning cooking for Jagannath ji. It's not easy, it's difficult. But it can be done through relation. Without relation cannot be done. In our farm, as in India, the gas is difficult to get gas now. So to cook for 300 devotees, cooking on a gas doesn't make sense. That means they have to have a natural state to cook. Natural heating system, which is made with mud, and that is very hard. They have to prepare big preparations. When I was carrying some pressure from there to the place of serving, people realize hey, it's difficult to even stand there for a couple of minutes. Now, how are these personalities doing this service continuously? That means they have to be kept at another plane, other state. That means the consciousness has to be so much purified to actually accept that state, to accept that situation, to accept austerities also. Consciousness has to be purified a lot. That means the person has to really feel that relation. Yes, I have to do it for him. Then only he can do it. That means the attachment which Bilumangar Das Thakur Maharaj has seen through that prostitute, he immediately accepted that work because he has so much attachment to that. I was remembering, spiritual master was telling us in the class that if this attachment we have to the towards our spiritual master, then our way of seeing this world is totally different. Because we do everything for their happiness. We are completely attached. We don't care. This person is telling that, that person is telling that. No, no, no. We don't see any of those things. We see only one thing. Vyavasayatmika buddhir eke hai Gurunandana. What I should do at this particular moment? What is my responsibility now? How should I lead my life? What should I do at this point of time? We understand that, we know that, and then we move on. Please think about this, dear devotees. If at all we feel attachment to our spiritual master, to our acharyas, actually that is the greatest blessing. Because that devotee will immediately come to Shuddha Sattva. If he immediately feels it, he immediately comes to that plane. He doesn't need any calculation, doesn't need any knowledge, any intelligence also. But he himself is satisfied at his consciousness level. He'll realize that happiness because Satchidananda, he understands that. Because he's getting the real knowledge. Real knowledge is what? Is to do everything through attachment to our higher authority. Just like South India Brahmana, he didn't know anything actually. He didn't know how to read also. But his spiritual master told him to read Gita every day. He goes to the temple every day and then he started reading. Because he's just doing through that attachment with that person. He don't know what kind of benefit he'll get because he's not looking for any of those things also. Because he's not in the plane of karma kanda. Karma kanda is too far. Karma kanda is too far from pure devotion. In karma kanda, we think, oh, what's in for me? But that sadhaka is not thinking that. Sadhaka is not thinking that, oh, what's in for me? What should I do? He's not thinking any of those things related about it. What is he doing? Is simply perceiving how can I please. He told me to do this, I'll just do that. This is attachment. In this attachment, what happens, when you are attached to a person, what happens is the first thing which comes into the consciousness is we become accountable. We are accountable for everything. We say, oh, bro, this is what I did, this is what my heart is, this is how the services are happening, this is what I'm doing. Accountable. Because relation, just like a child, when he has good relation with his parents, he never does any mistake by hiding with the parents. Because he feels that relation. Those are the qualities. Through the qualities, he's been protected. Just like Arjuna, he feels that attachment with Krishna. Through that attachment, he's sharing what is happening in his heart. That doesn't mean that Krishna doesn't know what Arjuna is feeling. That doesn't mean that Krishna is expecting that from Arjuna. That is actually an expression from the side of Arjuna because of that attachment. That means what is that attachment doing? The attachment is opening up his heart. When the heart is opened, what happens? Then he responds to them. Then he shares, oh, this is what I feel. Can you please help me? This is my condition. Can you please help me? Then he is receiving the mercy from the other side. If that thing was not been disclosed, Krishna wouldn't have spoken Gita. Please understand. For sure. Because if there is no conception of any kind of attachment, then there's no point of discussing it. Please understand. If a person is not feeling that attachment, then what is the point? What is the point of discussion? What is the point of Shravana and Kirtana? There's no point. That means when the attachment is missing, I'll tell an example. There's a bird called Chataka bird. This Chataka bird, it drinks water. Just like every bird, this bird will also drink water. But this bird doesn't drink water through the rivers. It can actually go on top of the water plane only. It can fly on top of the river. It's thirsty, but somehow it's not connected to the river water. It doesn't have an attachment to that. But it is thirsty. The thirsty which she is feeling, Krishna knows that. Because Krishna is sitting in the heart. As a reciprocation, because she is connected to the water which is given by the Lord directly from the sky. That means rainwater. That means she only drinks rainwater. That means to quench her thirst, even though there are no clouds, Krishna will ensure that clouds are there and then it will pour the water. This is attachment. Now, when the attachment is there, please understand this, dear. When the attachment is there, with the pure devotees, with the acharyas, with the Supreme Lord, what happens is, you are not attached to the material nature. Please understand. You are attached to them. That means you are here, just like America, the consulates America, they're in Hyderabad also. The American consulates aren't they in Hyderabad? They are, because there is a consulate in Hyderabad, US consulate in Hyderabad. That means US citizens are there in Hyderabad. They're here in Hyderabad or in India, but they work for whom? America. They work for America. They're here, but they're working there. They're here, but they're thinking about that. So when a person can stay one place and then think about the other place, it is possible. So the pure devotees, they're here, but think of the spiritual plane. They think about the spiritual world. They think about their spiritual master. They think about their service. That's what Srila Prabhupada did. Bhaktivedanta Thakur went back to the spiritual world. But he was here when working for him who's there in the spiritual world. He's accountable to him. He's here only, but he's accountable there. Is this not attachment? It's a very deep attachment. And through that attachment, what is happening is they easily come out of this material state, material plane. How and when that is possible? When we are not attached here, that is possible. Because if you're attached here, we cannot be attached there. If you're attached there, we cannot be attached here. We cannot do half and half attachment. Here half, there half. No. Just like there is half material life or spiritual life. No. There's either material life or spiritual life. Only two things. Two things means simultaneously only one thing is happening. Material life or spiritual life. No two. Only one. The manifestation is the key. The sustenance is a source. So please understand this. This is the source of everything. If we understand this, we'll actually realize what this Krishna consciousness is. Please understand, you are there in this body, but you're not part of this body. This conception is totally different to us actually. So we think we are this body only. Please understand. Don't we think that we are this body? Every day we see in the morning mirror. But when we think that this is only my stay here. I say, I'm not this. I'm something else. I'm that soul which is within. I'm that. I'm not this. The moment I understand that it is totally ball game is totally different. That means me perceiving the truth or understanding the truth is totally different. The plane is totally different. Because immediately after realizing that you're not this body, if you're spiritual, if this body is afflicted with a serious disease, you're aloof from it. Dear devotees, please understand. When the sadhaka is in that state, the pains and pleasures is not afflicting him. It's a pain, yes. It's not afflicting him. Prabhupada went through a lot of difficulties. Everyone is thinking, oh, it's very difficult. Yes, it is very difficult. But see their consciousness. Krishna will ensure that those difficulties are not connected to them. Even though the difficulties are connected, still they are happy through those difficulties also. Please understand that that's even more powerful. Krishna consciousness is that only. Very powerful process. No one can touch if the consciousness is pure. The consciousness becomes pure through the process of association. More important through the process of attachment through association. Because the person is not thinking, not seeing anything else other than what he heard. Is that not something profound? Is this not what exactly Bilamangal Das Thakur Maharaj has seen? That's what he has seen. The Mataji who told him, if you have this attachment which you are showing to me, because he came in the dead of the night. Dead of the night is a serious thing. Nobody will come. He did his final rites to his father and then he came. So his father left actually. Even during that final rites thing, he's thinking about her. Dear what is? At every moment, is it not possible to think about the Lord? You're doing. But when you begin doing it for Him, you become an instrument for Him. Externally, you might be in a school, or externally, you might be doing some other stuff. You might be cleaning something. You might be doing something. You might be doing software job. People connected. That is powerful. Oh, my dear Lord, this belongs to you. The salary is not mine, my dear Lord. It's yours. Because you have that intelligence. It's not mine. It's my foolishness. I'm thinking that it's mine. It's not mine. It all belongs to you. What a consciousness is this? Is this not beautiful? It is. Attachment is very powerful. Bhakti is not like for Janmashtami, go do some prayer, do some fasting. Oh, this is Purushottam Mass. Let us discuss about Krishna. No, it's not like that. Every moment is great. Every moment is wonderful. Because Krishna has gifted it to me. Oh, today's Amavasya, I cannot stay here. Oh, today is this, I cannot do that. Oh, let me check this, let me check that. No. It's very interesting how my mother is changing her consciousness so nicely. Before coming to Krishna consciousness, she was checking every day. Oh, is this correct day? Can I send my son to this particular place because today is this day? Can I send him there? Can I send him there? She was that state. So yesterday after the final rites, we were coming back. My sister was asking, when is brother going? Because day after tomorrow is Amavasya. Will you send him? Then she immediately said, she's going to the spiritual master. He can go anytime. That's what she said. He's going to the spiritual master for doing some service. He can go anytime. I said, wow, great, wonderful consciousness. Hope I'll get little consciousness from that, little inspiration from that. Bhakti means this only, dear. Bhakti means free from all doubts. Oh, my home is not as per Vastu. Should I stay here? Should I not stay here? Should I be here? Should I not be here? Can I be like this? Can I be like that? No, if you do pure devotion, if you don't do pure devotion, definitely you have to take all the measures. You have to check everything. But if you are fully dependent on the words of the spiritual master, dependent on Krishna, fully, you don't have to check. You don't have to take. You don't have to check it. You don't have to check anything. If you check, that's also good, but there's no need. Not that we are putting all of them down. Oh, this Vastru is all dumb. No, no, no. I'm not telling. I'm not telling that. We have to give. Sadhu Vaishnava will give respect to everyone, even to the ant. This Vastu is being driven by the great Devi Devatas. We have to make them happy. But if you make the root happy, all of them are happy. Now, this we need to understand. Hare Krishna. I think I'll stop here. Anyone would like to add anything? Would like to share? We'll continue this discussion on text number 17. There's more purport. Did not read. We'll continue. Has any questions? Like to add anything? Like to ask? Hare
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhu. All those to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, am I audible, Prabhuji?
Yes, Sama. Yes, Sama. Hare Krishna. Please tell.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Ashit is practicing Vedanga in the background. Sorry for the disturbance, if any, my voice. So, Prabhu, today's class is epitome, actually. The source, the key. It's a now that I'm realizing while in the class that when we say blessings work or any false language or that would impact, this is the key today's. I mean, please correct me, but this is what I'm getting the realization that it's all the consciousness um, which is the cause, root cause of everything. Consciousness is the root cause. Blessings of pure devotees. When we say blessings of pure devotees, take blessings from that pure devotee, that sadhu. And it's not like mystical that okay, good. It's not just like going and then touching the feet and then no, it's not. But it's the consciousness of that pure devotee as according if they are happy then Krishna is actually, as you said, beautifully said, Krishna knows what the seeker who is going and asking for blessing, and the Krishna also knows what the consciousness on the sadhu who's giving the blessing. So Krishna will work in both of them and make sure the blessings work. Right, Prabhu? So it's the consciousness of the person or of the sadhu who is actually blessing. Krishna will work through his consciousness. Prabhu. Today's class is so wonderful, Prabhu. The heart of bhakti, as you said at the end of the class. Bhakti is all about consciousness and attachment to the guru, to the sadhu, because their consciousness is pure. Pure, connected to Krishna. So whoever will go there. So I was just thinking also, um, the kids, if they don't listen, what is that not listening? If my consciousness is not good, how will they listen to me? Because their consciousness is different, right? Completely. So we hear this all the time. We talk about it all the time, but we don't realize it, like, completely. And that is a blessing. To realize itself, there should be a blessing, right? So, and that blessing comes if we hear from with attachment. And then, and you were saying, when the first thing which will happen if we get attached, if we listen through attachment, is accountability. Accountability on that is also naturally. It will come naturally. Accountability also will come naturally, or we should feel that accountability, and return back, ask, check if what am I doing correct or not, or how to proceed. And so, uh, thank you so very much, Roji, from the bottom of my heart. Today's class is like, a core of Krishna consciousness, and I'm uh, gratitude. Um, I just want to express my gratitude to you, the Prabhuji, Acharya Srila Prabhupada, for giving such a nectar, just like that, freely. It's in the book already. All we need to do is to listen from the pure devotee, consciously, with attachment. As you said, the one who gets it's, as you always say, it's not just in the class, but after going also. If we are in, smarana, with whatever we hear, with that consciousness again, to please, then only we'll get more realization, and that eternity, right, Prabhu? Eternity also is through consciousness only. Naturally, it will happen. So just wanted to share, Prabhu. Please correct me.
Actually, everything is given through consciousness only. That's why when acharyas they say follow these four regulative principles. That's why they say to follow the four regulative principles, because when we begin doing that, that's how we are accountable to them. And then not just that, it actually keeps us in a state of sattva. And then through that state, when we begin hearing, because accountability is there, sattva guna is there, when we hear through that state, what happens is we go to Shuddha Sattva. That's when the attachment is there, we go to Shuddha Sattva. That means we don't feel that, oh, I'm doing something, I have to do austerity, I have to do tapasya, I have to fast. No. Austerity will come naturally. I was just seeing my parents, my mother and father. My mother, that the previous day was Ekadashi, she ate little fruits. That means she ate before that day afternoon. And then on the Dwadashi, that our cousin, he left. That means until 9 p.m. she did not eat anything. She drank some water, because when a person leaves, you don't eat anything. You chant continuously. You stay with the person, you chant continuously. You don't eat anything. Because, because that's how you see, when a soul leaves, you have to do all these things. That means she ate like on before that Ekadashi day, afternoon, the whole night she did not eat. Next day she did not eat. And the next day at the night, 9 o'clock she ate. And before that, she cooked also. I was helping her, but she cooked. I think she chanted like 75 rounds that day. And then she cooked. I was helping her. And I couldn't, because even I was not helping, she would have done. But as me, as a service, I have to do for her. And that preparation is wonderful preparation. She offered it to Jagannath. We ate nicely. I always think about this. Arey, before this, you were not like this. It's the mercy of the spiritual master. We've been given that strength. Otherwise, we can't even stand. And we served everyone who came. We served them prasad. We asked another devotee to cook for everyone. Prasad was being served. And they left to their places. So these things are devotees. Every endeavor which we put for the other person. Please understand. If we simply do all of these things for the pleasure of the spiritual master, for the pleasure of the acharyas, we'll get immense strength also. We'll get immense strength. In this state, do we ever find faults? We don't find faults. Do we ever think about our own gratification? We don't do that. That means what is happening without our knowing, these things are going off from our consciousness. Is it not a greatest blessing? This is exactly what our acharyas wanted us to do. Pray for others. In that prayers, our prayers are already there. Because Krishna is watching. Because nobody will pray for the other person. Nobody in this world will pray for the other person. Whoever begins doing that, that is point of attraction towards the Lord. Because Krishna is attracted to that. I said, Amma, you shouldn't come back again into this material world. You should finish off this business in this life and then go back on back to me. You should pray for us from there. So that we staying here will be of some service to the devotees. So, dear devotees, you see the Chataka bird, which we took. Are Krishna is ready to help that bird for her austerity. Because it has taken a vow. It will only drink rainwater. Attachment. And Krishna is responding to her. Bhulavangashastakur Maharaj, he didn't hear all the philosophy, no. He just heard the word from the person who he is attached to. That's it. He took it as his life insurance. Srila Prabhupada, the moment he met his spiritual master, whatever he said, he immediately accepted. Because he knows he is my everything. When these things are understood to the core of the heart, then we will try to find that personalities who will take us back to our to our acharyas, who will take us back to the Lord, and we'll get attached to it. That is bhakti actually. And if you figure out that process, then life is success. That is devotion. Devotion is not difficult. For devotion, we need simple heart. And through that simplicity, we will withhold everything. Any shortcomings, any this, that, so many other things, we will withhold that. Is bhakti. That's what we should do. Bhakti is that only. See how much is there in consciousness. The moment you begin to think about it, there's so much in consciousness. So imagine. And I did not tell few more things. We'll discuss as and when the time permits. There's a lot to discuss. Thank you all very much. If I caused you an inconvenience, please excuse me. Yes, I'm Avasukyan. Please take.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much Prabhuji for very beautiful discussion about attachment, and also at the same time, if you're not completely surrendered to Guru, and then we won't be able to follow their instructions, and in bodily platform, the sense gratifications, and even as you mentioned about the soul platform also, so soul does the sense enjoyment also. That's that I learned Prabhuji in your class also. It's because these three modes of material nature is imprinted on the soul, correct Prabhuji? So that's the reason like souls also enjoy. So Prabhuji, what I understood from also my realization is that the attachment to the supreme, to the guru, should be completely should be complete attachment. If it's not complete, and if I don't surrender to the guru completely, I may fall down in time. As for example, Prabhuji, as you said about Srila Billamangal Thakur, They are the pure souls, they are the pure devotees. They did everything for teachings. They teaches us through their life. And as you explained, Prabhuji, about Chintamani, Mother Chintamani, she actually was practicing Krishna consciousness at that time. And so Chintamani went said, like, why you are so much attracted to this flesh bones? Rather, if you get the same attachment to Krishna, he will deliver. So Bilamangal Thakur realized that. But after some time, again Bilamangal Thakur fall down through the Brahmana's wife, and then he pierced his eyes, because he said, this sense is actually disturbing me, so I'll just kill those senses. So, Prabhuji, from this episode, we can understand I'm a very, very insignificant person. I may not analyze this part, but what I, in my very tiny understanding, I understood that it's like always have to be careful in the life, because the habit, the way I born with those habits is not going to go unless I surrender to Guru and just follow his instructions. No, do not thinking by myself like what I think, etc., but just what they said, like just blindly follow Guru. And for that I need the trust also. So Prabhuji, please correct me, but
Hare
my
Krishna.
understanding. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for sharing your heart. Hare Krishna.
Do you have,
Coming from here,
yes, Prabhuji,
thank
do
you,
you
Amma.
have,
Thank you for sharing.
do you have any, like, please correct me, Prabhuji, if I.
Definitely. Hare Krishna. Thank you for sharing. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, bro.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. Prabhuji, I just wanted to share some thoughts, and please correct me if I'm wrong. I think
Please, please.
we seeing Krishna in everything that we do, everything that we say, everything we practice, we see Krishna, it will help with the consciousness, Prabhuji, definitely. That's my humble experience. And what seems to be like a mountain becomes a molehill. For example, I was traveling recently to and from Tampa, and both days was Ekadasi, going and coming. And I was thinking, Mataji was saying, let me make something so we can take them. I say, no, let's take some fruits. And even the fruits I didn't take, because I think Krishna has made it so easy for me, because my consciousness was there to keep Ekadashi, even though I was traveling. Also, another experience that I have that became very practical is when I enter the shower in the morning, I always recite some mantras to Ganga Ma and the holy places of Vrindavan, etc. And that consciousness that I carry, it happens automatically every time I enter the shower. I would never forget to do that. So the point I'm trying to make is that yes, if we see Krishna in everything, and he will help us purify our consciousness. And please correct me if I'm wrong, Prabhuji, but that's my experience, and that's what I'm, continuing to do. Always try to see Krishna in everything, and try to help to purify my consciousness. Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving us wonderful nectar every day, and it helped us so much. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, bro, for sharing. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. Stop here.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Prabhuji, thank you so much for explaining
Yes, please.
about the consciousness and the bodily conception and the spiritual conception of life, and also, bringing all your experience visiting your cousin who left his body into your class. It makes it feel so, brings it home, and makes it practical. It's not theoretical. Prabhuji, one point that you said regarding
Sure.
celebrating Purushottam month. Like in the spiritual world, every day is a festival, and when it's your kid's birthday, you're focused more on your kid and on that day. So since these festivals, Vaishnava festivals, are actually celebrating the Lord in different forms, like Narasimha Chaturdashi, Gaur Purnima. So, shouldn't we celebrate it and have a special feeling on each of these days? Because you mentioned that, every day is Purushottam month. Yes, but like every day will have a different flavor, just like the different food cooked by Srimati Radharani for Krishna. So shouldn't we celebrate every festival?
Definitely, why we shouldn't? We should celebrate. Krishna consciousness is celebration only. Krishna consciousness is celebration. So yes, definitely, we should celebrate. We should take opportunities to celebrate. We should take opportunity to remember our acharyas. We could take opportunity to remember the Lord. Celebration is what when we are doing all of those things, then that is wonderful. So it's a celebration. Definitely, we should take opportunities to celebrate. So Acharya's appearance day, Acharya's disappearance day, festivals day, Lord's appearance day, Lord's appearance day, Acharya's disappearance day. It's all festivals. It's all. If you see, that's the whole point. Srila Prabhupada, if you see our Vaishnava calendar, he includes all the Acharyas and then he says first on this day, first on this. It's a festival. It's an opportunity. So it's a. Thank you for bringing that. Yes, it's an opportunity for us. We should reflect. We should. It's a great chance for us to deepen our consciousness, to meditate more, to do some service, and to remember what they have given, and to reflect what we have been given earlier. Yes, that's all part of celebration. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you all very much. Stop here. Srila Prabhupada Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna. I think
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.